everybody to the Smoky Kudo Show Topics. We've got an all-new subject matter for you. Welcome to an all-new show of topics. Tonight we got a special guest, Jeff Williams, with us here tonight. We got a subject about UFOs here tonight on Topics. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to talk about 12,000 documents released to the public. We're going to talk about the Men in Black. We're going to talk about human pilots flying alien-engineered aircrafts. So stay tuned for an all-new episode of Topics.
And there's also things that's come up new, that's been released to the public, as far as there's been aliens that have been working with our government, that's been with our government for a very long time. And there's different race of aliens that are living with the human race that's been here for a very long time, and coming to find out a lot of this stuff, and a lot of this stuff has also got to do with the fact of the government's not released any of these videos or footages or anything, and now all of a sudden they have, and then what's really weird about it is anything that's real serious, they're trying to get the Men in Black involved, and they're trying to keep people from seeing certain things. So there's a lot of question in there. It's like they want us to see certain things, and then there's certain things they don't want us to see. So it's really hard to figure out what exactly is true and false, and what's really out there as far as the truth. So I think from a lot of what I've seen, and I think a lot of what what Josh has seen too, we've seen a lot of things on video that's always been a huge question whether or not it was true or false. So it's pretty, to me, I think, common sense. We live in a big world, and a huge solar system, and it's hard to say that we're the only thing out there. So we know that there's other UFOs and other aliens and being out there, just not us. So it's anyway, it's just really weird that the government's released all this new stuff, and we just kind of want to dive in and talk about that today. So
yeah, I know it's always weird from my own perspective, from over the years, like everyone else, watching videos, reading documents, seeing government releases. It's always such a suppression and a secretive thing to try to research. And then when you start talking about it, you get labeled, as the wrong, being a kook or whatever they want to call it. And, it's just it's a really strong subject matter in the United States and probably around the world, when there's multiple sightings, videos, believers. I mean, who really knows? But
there is a lot out there, and that's the thing. It's just hard to say, what's right and wrong, and or what's true and false, or whether or not it's right or wrong. It's two different things. But we just live in a big society, and there's always been just a huge question of whether or not a lot of this stuff is true or not. But either way, there's been a lot of aliens that supposedly that live here among us, and there's there's some huge alien secret base down in Mexico, and some kind of war that's been going on for a long time, and a lot of this video and footage just came out, and it's just kind of weird that a lot of this stuff seems to be publicized, but a lot of people don't seem to be talking about it, and that's what's kind of we want to just bring it to y'all's attention that there's a lot out there. You need to check into it, because the way that I see it is there's just more to it.
That's the one good thing about topic viewers. We all have a wide array of opinions and minds, so we'll leave it up to the viewers' judgment on what they think. We just want to state some facts and let some knowledge be known. Alright, we're going to dive into it. We're going to start talking about the facts, the truth, the censorship of pilots who witness things while they're flying and lose their jobs. And we want to talk about the Men in Black roughing people up, threatening, scaring, and just being seen at odd times and not being able to be proven. So, Jeffrey, what do you think about the facts, the truth, and all these pilots that can't speak because they'll lose their jobs and be called crazy for seeing UFOs or any out of the ordinary things in the air?
Yeah, there's a lot of pilots that can't put their stuff that they see in the air. Them and their family, and I don't know. It's just a huge thing that there's a lot of unexplained things flying around out there, and they can't talk about it. The government released all these documents and stuff. You want the public to know more about it, but yet the people that see it the most even talk about it. So how there again, it's just one of those things. Doing the complete opposite. So it's hard to know who's believable or what's exactly out there.
I know from my experience of years of watching videos, there's always the government's debunking it, science is debunking it, and then no matter what, it's photo photography fakery, or there's always something to contradict the facts of eyewitness accounts of UFOs. And it's really odd that if a pilot of a jet witnesses something and he makes a report that he risks losing his job for seeing something that's out of the ordinary. There's got to be something going on to where it's become like that. I think. I don't know why.
I don't know. There's just a lot of people out there saying that there's a lot more than just us here, and in the same time, they won't let people that somebody good to talk to about it would definitely be an Air Force pilot, or maybe somebody that flies passenger planes all the time, but they won't even let them talk because of the fact of they get threatened to lose their job, and of course the Men in Black get involved, and whoever, they get threatened and they get scared, so they're not able to put the truth on there, and it's just I don't know, it's just a wrong thing altogether. But either way, there's more here, more out there, and I think we all know that, whether you believe it or not.
Well, there certainly is a lot of eyewitness accounts. YouTube's blown up lately with UFOthology and all the different things you read about, and every day, constantly in the paper and news, the different supposed eyewitness accounts. There's definitely something going on, whether it's government made or if it's just, really there is something else that the government doesn't want us to know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't know, so I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll definitely in time see, if flying saucers are a man-made thing to panic society and maybe be part of another agenda by societies that supposedly are behind the black curtain. But, we'll see in time. We want to talk about alien races that are living among us. Supposedly there's people out here that can say that there's hundreds of alien races that's been here for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, supposedly there's 5 different alien races. And then there's a bunch that are very evil aliens that don't really care much about the human being. But the ones that are living here, they obviously look a lot like us, but they live a lot longer than us. They live up to 400 to even 1,000 plus years. but who knows what their lifespan is? But a lot of them for a very long time, and they've been working for our governments. We know of ever since the 50s or 60s. There's one guy that's particular that hasn't hardly aged at all. But either way, they've just they've just kind of blended in with the rest of us. It's just hard to know who's alien and who's human. But either way,
definitely.
It's just a crazy thing.
Through a lot of research, I hear things about the Dulles Base incident where we're fighting reptilians who made a deal with the United States government to kidnap human beings and live off of them, not to come above Earth. I've heard, the Greys plot of abduction and all the mass surgery and weird procedures that happen to abductees that, only can be brought out through hypnosis. And then, you got the Nordics, who are the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, who live among us for thousands of years. So, there's so much things that come into it, the ancient alien theory, to where genetics and everything we were made between crossbreeding. There's so many theories about it, and it's very interesting to everybody, and bringing it to light to everyone's just a really good thing for topics.
I don't know, and I totally agree that everybody I think needs to know about it, because there's just more out there than what a lot of people realize. And with the aliens being and supposedly there's some kind of alien civilization that's underground in Mexico, and that's been there for a very long time. And, supposedly China and Russia are in on it too, but they've been going down there and some kind of thing living under there. And either way, they've been a part of our society. You believe it or not, they've been coming and going, and there's been a lot of people that's been catching this on video with their cell phones, because our technology has gotten so advanced over the years. Technology is gone out the roof, and it's a little harder to fill in the blanks like they used to do with video and photography back in the day. And so a lot of that we see today, whether it's real or not, it seems very real, but I think there's a lot of it that it is.
It's so hard to tell with CGI and video editing and technology these days. I mean, anybody can about do anything with these videos. So,
right.
I mean, account stories with reenactment videos, that's very common to see out there. And, there's always the shock. There's a lot of things to alien agendas that people take very serious, and we just wanted to try to separate facts from truth and see maybe what our viewers think about it, and let y'all make your determination.
Because we've seen videos that have gotten pulled off that's been online before, and then all of a sudden the next day or the next couple of days, or we can't even find it again, because evidently the government didn't want it on there. But then later on down the road, we might have seen it again, and it might have appeared once, because once something's online, it's pretty much online forever. So it's hard to get rid of it, but the government does a very good job of doing it. So either way.
And there's a lot of censorship on the YouTube. There's a lot of censorship on all the social media networks that we all use. We see it commonly. I mean, it's good for things that don't belong, but, some things, if people find seriously in subject matter, still is free speech in America, and common sense should tell us that should still be able to be honored. So, we want to end tonight's show with these topics of UFOs. We hope everybody enjoyed it tonight, and as always, on topics, we love everyone, our sponsors, fans, family. We thank you all for making this happen, and everybody have a good night. Thank you.